Hey everyone, how are you? I'm Kicherra-Chisolm and welcome back to my channel, Kicherra Creates. And I am an artist and instructor, and I am here to bring you guys another simple and easy beginner's acrylic painting tutorial. So, if this is your first time joining me today, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That way you won't miss any of my tutorials. So today I wanted to do something that was just kind of fun, quick and easy. I don't really want to take up more than maybe about an hour of you guys' time. So I've been getting recommendations or suggestions or requests by some of my subscribers to do a lotus flower. But instead of just doing a traditional lotus flower, I wanted to do something a little bit more abstract and fun today. So we're going to do a really fun, vivid, bright background, and then we're going to draw and sketch out the lotus flower over top of it. So to get started, as usual, we are going to use our primary colors. So we're going to use red, blue, and yellow. Now I also like to use a base green as well. It just simplifies the process instead of having to mix your own, and some black and white, of course. So I'm going to use my 1-inch flat brush to do the background, and for this technique I'm not going to use a whole lot of water. I'm not going to overly saturate the canvas or anything like that. And instead of doing smooth strokes up and down or left and right, we're actually going to do crisscrossing or little X's, or however you want to describe it, for the background. So I'm actually going to start with a little bit of black paint. I don't want the black too thick though. So as you can see, I'm kind of wiping off some of it. So I just have a little bit. And I just want to put, see, just X's here and there of the black. And I'm just being random. There's no science or anything behind how I'm doing it. I'm just adding some black in certain areas so that we'll have different depth or different color saturation and all that fun stuff. And don't neglect the sides, the top and the bottom of your canvas too. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to go over top of this with a whole bunch of other colors too. All right, I'm gonna rinse this brush off. I'll make sure it's nice and clean too, since we started with that black. And see, I did not add a lot of water to the black because I don't want it to blend in too much with any of the other colors that we put on there, because I don't want everything to turn gray. So I feel like I haven't been painting with green as much usual, so I think I'm gonna do some green. So I'm just getting some green paint, and I'm still using that same, and I'm throwing paint everywhere already. Anyway, I'm still using that same flat brush. Gonna add some blue into this green, maybe a little bit of yellow. And see, that gives me a nice kind of teal tone. And I'm gonna do that same thing, some little X's here and there, everywhere with this color. And we're just going to use this technique with all the different colors that we end up using, just to blend the colors together. And there's no way you can mess this background up. You don't have to do your X's in any one direction or anything like that. We're just throwing the color on there and letting it blend in as we progress with the layers. Don't forget the sides and the top also. And see, the brush is pretty dry. It does not have a lot of water on it at all, which is exactly what I want. All right, so I'm gonna use that same green. I'm gonna rinse off the brush just a little bit. I'm going to use that same green, but I'm going to add some more yellow into it. think I might pull a little bit more green into there. There we go. And you see how the colors are just slowly starting to blend together. Mix up a little bit more of that. Some green, some yellow, and a little touch of blue. That's all we use for this color. And just doing our little excess all the way around. And you will use a good amount of paint for this, considering that we're not using a lot of water to saturate the canvas. Don't forget the sides, like I keep saying. And the bottom. And the tops. Make sure I get this side too. Sorry, just mixing some more of that paint. So still same thing, just green, yellow, and blue to get this kind of bright green shade. Same thing, little excess. All right, so I think I want to add some kind of a turquoise or some light blue to this. So I'm going to clean off my flat brush, still using the same brush. All right, so I'm going to get some blue and some white, a little bit more white. And I'm going to add a touch, just a little bit of yellow to this blue. It's going to give it a brighter tone. If you add too much yellow to your blue, it will turn green. So don't add too much. Just going to add a little bit more. You can always go back and add more. So don't go overboard with it. All right, so nice light blue. Same thing. And see, the more paint we get onto the canvas, the more it's going to start to blend the background colors together. So I want the colors to blend and intermingle with each other. So I'm not trying to get any color perfect in one area or anything like that. I'm literally just throwing paint down. Make some more of that blue by just adding some blue, some white. And remember, I add a little bit of yellow to that. All right, let's do some more. And see, just little X's going all different directions. Don't forget the tops and the sides. Step over here and make sure I get these sides good too. Kind of mimic that crisscrossing texture or technique on the sides and the bottoms and the top as well. If you're short like me, you're gonna have to stand on your tiptoes if you got a standing easel like this. I'm just giving some love to the sides, that's all. There we go. All right, I'm gonna add just a little bit of water onto my brush, thin some of that blue out some more so I can use it in some more areas. Get a little bit more down here. And just so you guys know, yes, all of my paintings are available for purchase. I'm getting everything situated so that I can offer you guys to be able to purchase prints and all of that stuff as well. But if you are interested in purchasing any of my pieces or getting a custom commission piece from me, you can just email me. All of my information is linked down low. My email is just kicherra@gmail.com. All right, so I'm going right back into that green that we had, and I just used green, yellow, and white to make this kind of bright green. And I'm just gonna add some more in some areas. So I think I might want to add some purple to this. So I'm gonna clean off this brush really well. Really, really well. All right, so we're going to need some red, so I'm going to get some red paint. It takes red and blue to make purple, so I'm going to get some red and some blue, a little bit of white, and I'm just going to keep playing around with red, blue, and white until I get the shade of purple that I'm looking for, or one that I just happen to like. And I just keep adding more blue, more red, more white. Okay, I think I like that. So let's add some of this purple the same way we did with all the other colors, just little X's here and there. And I want this to have a good amount of color to it. I want it to be really bright and vivid, all that fun stuff. Since this is an abstract piece. Sorry, I'm just mixing more purple paint. So just blue, white, and red. That's all I'm doing. And don't worry about if you mix the shades perfectly to match the same exact purple as you did before, because as you can see, it's all gonna blend into each other anyway. Don't forget the sides and the top also. All right. And I can't do purple without doing some pink, so I think I'm gonna do some pink next. And see, I'm kind of just letting the colors come to me as I'm painting. I didn't think this out too much. That's the joy of doing abstract painting. You kind of just let it come to you. You just have some fun, play around, release some stress, kind of get lost in just the idea or thought of creating something. And you guys, if you have any suggestions or any ideas that you would like to see me do a tutorial on, go ahead and leave some comments down below. That's exactly where I got the inspiration for this piece today. I got inspired by one of you lovely subscribers that requested a lotus flower. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to add some more purple up in here. All right. Clean this brush off. And we're going to make some pink. So pink is just red and white. So I'm just going to add some red and some white. And to brighten up this pink, I'm actually going to add a little bit of yellow into it. And see how that changed the tone of the pink? A little bit more yellow. There we go. And the same thing, nothing's changed, just little crisscrosses here and there. You want some of all of these colors on the sides, the tops, and the bottoms too. And see how the colors are just blending together? That's exactly what you want. Just playing around with adding some pink where I feel like I think I need some. That's all I'm doing. All right, let me take a step back. Okay, I'm going to brighten this up some, so I'm going to add some yellow to it. So just some yellow. I'm going to add a little touch of white to it, not too much because I don't want it a pastel yellow. I still want it pretty bright. So I'm just lighting it up just a little bit by adding some white to it. There we go. I think I like that tone. And after I put some of this yellow down, I think I am going to go back and do some green over top of this, since we started with green. Get the sides also. And the top. Step on this side. All right. Sorry, I'm all in front of the camera, but I'm just playing around with it. Let me step back one more time. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to go back in and do some green. So, I'm going to, of course, use green and some yellow. I literally just used my brush to scoop up the rest of the yellow that I had on there and to bring it in over here to the green. Add some blue into this, and I want this more of a pastel tone, so I'm going to add some white to it. All right, I'm going to get some more yellow paint because I want this a little bit brighter. So bear with me while I get some more yellow paint. I feel like I always go through yellow, but it is what it is. There we go. more yellow paint. And I'm dropping paint brushes. There we go. So add some more yellow into this. And I think I like that. So let's go on with this. And now I'm kind of just picking out any spots that I can still see the canvas peeking through, and I'm going to put some of this green here and there. And I actually do think that I'm going to go over this with the blow dryer just quickly. That way we can sketch our lotus flower right over top of it. And I'm not going to fill in the lotus flower. We're literally basically just going to sketch it out and do the outline, which is why I wanted to use a whole bunch of colors just so to add some dimension and some fun to it. Just doing excess, like I said. And we started with green, so I'm okay with having a little bit more green than any of the other colors, because that's basically what I wanted. That's why I started with green. And like I said, I'm just looking to see if there's any spots where I can see the canvas peeking through. And I'm adding some paint to those areas. Still doing that same kind of crisscrossing pattern, which makes this so easy. Such an easy piece. Anybody can do little X's. All right. Okay. And what I love about abstract art is it's just fun. You don't have to think about it too much. You just kind of play around with the colors, blend here, blend there. And you don't have to use the same exact colors that I use. I always state that it's more so like a recipe. So you can kind of use whatever colors are to your liking. However, I prefer to use the primary colors just so, especially when it comes to instructing, just so I can introduce you guys to the process of mixing your own colors and things like that. All right, so as usual, I'm going to take a step back. Okay, I think I like that. I like all these color variations. So I'm going to put this brush down. And like I said, I want to actually sketch out the lotus flower for this in white. So I'm going to take my handheld dryer and blow dry it. So I apologize in advance because yes, it is going to be loud, but hey, that way we don't have to just sit and wait and chit chat while it dries. Now, one good thing about acrylic paint though is that it does not take a really long time for it to dry. So if you didn't want to pull out a blow dryer or anything like that, no big deal. You can literally wait maybe 20 minutes at the most, since we did so many different colors, and it should be dry enough for you to go ahead and start sketching over top of it. But we're going to use the blow dryer because we're not waiting. right, that's good enough. And I usually don't even blow dry it that much, but like I said, since I want to sketch this out in white, even though we're probably gonna have to do more than one layer, I just wanted it to be dry enough to where we could sketch over top of it. All right, perfect. So we are going to use a small round brush, and it's just called a round brush because it doesn't have a flat edge to it. And we are going to use our white paint. Now, whenever it comes to using white and black paint, it's really thick. So especially when you want to sketch something out with it, you want to thin out your brush or thin out the paint a good amount. That way you don't have to keep stopping to adding more water or whatever to your brush. You want it to be nice and thin, like an ink consistency. So bear with me while I dilute my paint some so we can start that process. All right, so just in the middle, we are going to do an oval or circle, however. And then we're going to do a U connecting that. Then at the bottom down here, we're going to do 2 lines on each side. And don't worry if it's not super smooth, because like I said, we're going to go back and touch these up. And a few lines just coming off the sides. All right, and we're going to turn these into little petals. See? Let's do one here too. We'll add one coming around here. And we'll add one coming around here as well. All right. Right in here, we're going to add another little oval right over top of that one too. Now, up here where we originally did this oval, we're going to add a little petal in the center and kind of cover up this line right here. Add a smaller one in front of there. Adding one off to the side. Now, up in here where we did that second oval going around the first one, we're going to turn that into little teeny tiny petals too. And see, I'm covering up where I did that original sketch line. I'm going to add a petal coming back here, and one back here. Add some more water to my brush to dilute this paint some more. All right, let me just take a step back. Okay, let me make this one a little bit larger. Gonna add some more little petals around here, and see, I'm kind of just coming off from where I've already made some and just adding some here and there. Then I'm going to do some larger ones coming from back behind here. and some little teeny tiny ones kind of poking back between there. Add some larger petals over here on these sides. Then I'm going to start coming down here and adding some more out this way. And I thought this would be a fun way to introduce the technique of even drawing a lotus, just kind of having it floating in the air instead of trying to put it in the pond or with some lily pads or anything like that. We can revisit that at another day when we do something a little bit more realistic. But today I just wanted to do something that was bright and fun. Right here, I'm just going to add a little small round one. And you see how the edge of my petals have like a point to them. And in here, I'm going to add some more little teeny tiny ones right in here too. Make just a small little oval and connect some more little ones on top of there. All right, let me take a step back. Okay, I like that. And like I said, this obviously is not overly realistic or anything like that. I just wanted this to be fun and quick and easy. I didn't want it to take too long or anything like that. Now, of course, I'm not going to just leave it just plain white. I am going to do some strokes of some color up in here, and then we're going to do some shadowing and all that good stuff as well with some black at the end. But I'm going to get this white paint nice and thin. I like the composition of the lotus flower as it is, so I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to make sure that my brush is nicely saturated, or that the paint is nice and thin as well. And I'm just going to clean up some of these lines. So I'm literally just basically doing another coat over top of what we did. Just kind of smoothing out the edges, making sure all the little petals are nice and smooth. So we're just going over top of everything we just did with the same thing, just the white paint. Now, if we were going to do this in another color, like a blue or something like that, I probably would not have used the blow dryer to dry it. But since I didn't want a whole bunch of different streaks of color in these petals, I went ahead and dried the back of the canvas, or the background, excuse me. And see, I'm just touching up what we just put down, making sure that the edges, or all the little points or the tips, are nice and smooth. Just doing the same thing, just going over what I just laid out, being a little bit more meticulous, just making sure that all my edges and everything are nice and smooth. All right, then I'll paint out some more. If you feel like it's starting to get too thick and it's hard to blend out your lines or smooth out your lines, then add some more water to the brush. And I'm just smoothing out each one of the petals, making sure they're nice and smooth. Nothing too complicated. And it helps it stand out some more over top of the background as well. Just cleaning up all the lines and edges of my lotus flower. That's all I'm doing with that same white paint. Nothing too complicated. Literally anyone can do this. This is the perfect piece for beginners, especially if you've never played around with abstract painting or anything like that. This is a quick and fun piece that literally everyone can do. So it'd be a nice piece too to do with the family, just to have a nice activity or whatever on the weekends or anything like that. It's also a nice stress reliever. If you've had a long day, you want something to kind of clear your mind, paint a little bit. It's very relaxing. Kind of just get lost and focus on what you're doing instead of thinking too much about everything else you have going on. It's a nice way to have a nice mental break. And I'm just literally, all I'm doing is touching up my lines, making sure they're nice and smooth and there's nice definition to the lotus flower. That's all that we're doing. We're basically going right over top of what we already did, making sure the lines are nice and smooth. That's it. And for this whole painting so far, we've just used 2 brushes. We used that 1-inch flat brush and then this smaller round brush. Those are the only brushes that we've used. All right, almost done. Kind of touching everything up. And I'm going to add some accents of a light blue to this lotus flower, and then we'll do some definition with some black. And then I think that'll be it. I don't think I'm going to want to add too much more after that. Just thinning out my paint some more, that's all. Just thinning the paint out. All right, let me step back for a minute and see if there's any areas I want to touch up. All right, good. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to add some blue over into that white that we already thinned out. Same brush. Actually, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush because I don't want to cover up all the lines that we just did. I just want to add little highlights to it. So I'm just using a brush that's a little bit thinner. I got a nice pale blue. Add a little bit of yellow to that. Some more blue to it. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of highlight each one of the petals with this blue tone. Kind of give more definition to the shape of each one of these little teeny tiny petals. And I'm not covering over all of the whole petal. I'm not outlining the whole entire petal with the blue. I'm just adding little touches of it. So you don't have to be too picky. Just add a little touch of that blue to the petals. And I said I was only going to do the blue and some black, but I think I'm going to do some pink too. I'm going to mix up some more of that light blue. Just blue and white, and I added a teeny tiny bit of yellow to it. There we go. Just adding little touches of blue here and there. And I'm not being too picky about where I put the blue. I'm just making sure that each one of the petals has a little bit of the blue, giving all of them some love with this blue tone, just to help differentiate the petals, give the shape more definition. All right. Now I'm going to mix up a pink. So white, red, I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow to that. I add some more. There we go. I like that pink. Let me thin this out some with some water, and we're gonna do the same thing with the pink also. All right, just diluting the pink, that's all. Using that same brush I was using with the blue, and I'm just gonna add some touches of the pink. Give each of the little petals some love with this pink color too. And I'm not even using as much pink as I did as the blue. I'm just adding little teeny tiny strokes or areas of pink to each one of the petals. Just wherever I feel like I want one petal to stand out a little bit more. If I feel like it's blended in too much with any of the other ones, I'm going to add a little bit more pink in that one spot. So see, I'm just throwing down the pink, not doing anything too particular or too strategic. Just giving each one of the petals some love with this pink color. Get some more water, dilute this just a little bit. I think we're doing pretty good with time. Like I said, I didn't want to keep you guys longer than an hour today. On this beautiful Saturday, I'm ready to get outside and start exploring and enjoying the sunshine, all that good stuff. Just adding some touches of pink to each one of these little petals. And I think I might add just a little bit more pink to all of these. Put a little bit too much right there. Just adding some pink to all of them, just wherever I feel like I want to add some more. Just the same thing we did with the blue, nothing different. And then we're going to do this same little technique with some black, just add some strokes here or there, and then we're going to be done with this lovely lotus flower. All right, let me take a step back again. Okay, I'm liking that. And I don't want to go overboard and start adding too many colors because we have so many colors in the background. So I'm just going to go ahead with the black, and we're going to thin this black out, still that same brush. We're going to thin this black out the same way we did with the white paint. And see how thick it is? It takes a good amount of water to get it nice and thin, nice and diluted. Almost like an ink consistency or texture. And I'm not going to be too strategic with the black either. Just like I did with the blue and the pink. I'm just going to add some little touches of black to each one of the petals. And then we are going to be done. See, I'm just playing around with the black, not being overly particular. Just adding some love with the black paint to each one of the petals. Just giving each little petal some love and some attention with the black paint. And I actually like the touches of pink that we used too. I feel like it helps the pink that we did in the background stand out some more. Alright, I'm just giving each one of the petals some love with the black. This is going to help the petals to be just a little bit more defined as well. So you can differentiate them some more from the rest of the petals. I just added some more water to thin this out some more. That's about it. There we go. We're getting there. And you guys, make sure you like this video. If you enjoyed this painting tutorial, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment all that good stuff out. It would really be appreciated. Thank you. And thank you guys all for your support. It means so much to me, especially being a new YouTuber and this being my first channel and my first 2 months doing this. I'm overwhelmed with how much support I've been getting. So thank you guys so much. I really do truly appreciate each and every one of you. So we'll just do some in the middle here and we're going to be good to go. And my goal was to just only take an hour with you guys today, and I think we are going to achieve that. All right, I'm just adding a little bit more black here and there. Just kind of looking at where I feel like I want to put a little bit more. Sorry, I got kind of quiet, but I'm in the end zone, so hey, getting kind of focused. Just double checking to see if there's any other areas I want to add some more of this black to. Let me step back. I think just a little bit here, maybe a little bit more here. And I'm going to leave it alone because I like it. I don't want to keep going, keep adding. I say that and then I'm going to add some more. But I've learned through experience that once you get satisfied, to leave it alone. So I'm going to put my paint down and my paint brushes down, and that is it. Here is our lovely abstract lotus flower that you guys created with me today. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial with me today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment. I welcome comments if there's any techniques that you're interested in learning or have any painting ideas that you want to see, anything like that, just let me know. If you are interested in purchasing any of my paintings, please just email me. My email information and everything is down below. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.